Hey everyone, a huge welcome to all the AI architects, UX designers, and knowledge management pros joining us on LinkedIn. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating piece of interaction design by Richard Lyons called "The Prompt Box is Not Enough." Let's just dive right in, because we're going to explore exactly why our current linear chat interfaces are, well, kind of failing complex human thought, and more importantly, what we can actually do about it.
I want to hook you right out of the gate with this core maxim from the author. He says, the transcript is where discovery occurs. It is not the knowledge structure. And honestly, that perfectly captures the frustration so many of us are feeling right now. I mean, over the last couple of years, these frontier models have just advanced at a breakneck pace. Yet, our main way of actually interacting with them, the standard chat box, it's still entirely stuck in a linear past.
Now, before we go any further, let's establish some radical transparency. What we're looking at today is an early graphical prototype. It uses mock data, simulated interactions, the whole shebang. So we're exploring a conceptual environment called the Semantic Inquiry Workspace. It's not a finished commercial product, but rather a really compelling vision for the future of AI interaction that we get to dissect together right now.
Just to keep us structured, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the linear interface problem, see how prompts mature into semantic maps, and then look at inspecting and assembling context. After that, branching without losing convergence, provenance and user control, and finally, an open-source invitation.
All right, Section 1, the linear interface problem, moving beyond the perfect prompt.
So the core friction point we face today is that human cognition just isn't a straight line, right? The expectation that a user should construct this flawless, all-encompassing perfect prompt right up front is fundamentally misplaced. Think about it. If we already knew all the hidden assumptions and context, we probably wouldn't even need the AI. To solve this, the Semantic Inquiry Workspace completely shifts our focus. It seamlessly combines navigation, your prompt composition area, and this really cool emerging semantic map on the right. Instead of a chronological chat history just dominating the screen, the developing inquiry itself becomes the central organizing structure.
Moving on to Section 2, maturing into semantic maps. Visualizing thought. So how can we actually visualize human thought before we ever hit send? Well, as you type in the prompt canvas, a simulated semantic reflection starts surfacing provisional concepts right alongside it. It's literally mapping out assumptions, contradictions, and related questions in real time. The absolutely crucial point here is that this is not your standard autocomplete. It isn't silently rewriting your thinking behind your back or putting words in your mouth. Instead, it's dynamically revealing the structure of your thought as a semantic mind map.
Now, to understand how this works under the hood, especially for the system architects listening, we need to talk about the knowledge nugget. A knowledge nugget isn't just a generic string of suggested text, it's a fully inspectable semantic object. It has its own baked-in relationships, origins, and status. It essentially acts as a discrete, totally manageable piece of context.
Which leads us to Section 3. Inspecting and assembling context. Verification first.
A really critical design principle here is active verification. Let's say you select a nugget, like model anchoring. The interface instantly exposes exactly what it means and where it came from. Is it a user-stated fact? Is it an inference the model just made up? Or was it retrieved from an external database? You have the absolute power to inspect those relationships and investigate its provenance before making it part of your inquiry. Basically, context must be actively inspected and verified by you before it ever becomes active in the model.
Because of this, we get an entirely new, structured user flow for context assembly. It's a simple four-step process. First, the system reflects your writing into a map. Second, you inspect those semantic objects. Third, you deliberately assemble your context. And only then, fourth, do you submit. It is a massive, massive upgrade from just blindly accepting whatever text the AI suggests.
And here is what that assembly looks like in practice. When you drag one of these nuggets into your prompt box, you don't just paste plain text. You're presented with a bounded choice. Do you want to just add the label, a concise definition, or maybe the entire bounded subtree of related concepts? You are the one choosing exactly how much semantic context gets activated. It's all about deliberate control.
Okay, Section 4, branching without losing convergence, exploring counterfactuals. This completely shifts how we handle the fundamental what-ifs of natural human thought.
We all know the frustrating UX of a linear chat transcript, right? You go down a rabbit hole, and suddenly your alternative ideas and counterfactuals are buried deep in the scroll history, entirely disconnected from your main goal. Well, a semantic workspace changes that dynamic entirely. It allows for independent branches of thought, and crucially, mergeable findings.
So, when a concept is selected, it opens as a bounded branch. You can explore a counterfactual assumption entirely on its own, testing out an alternative theory. But here's why this is a real game changer. It retains its relationship to the parent inquiry. You don't have to discard useful work just because it wasn't the main direction. You can explore, preserve those findings, and seamlessly merge them back into the primary inquiry whenever you're ready.
Next up, Section 5, Provenance and User Control. Authorship matters.
This brings up a vital question, especially for all the knowledge management pros out there. Who actually authored the thought fed into the AI? This interface solves that by strictly preserving provenance. It clearly distinguishes between what you actually accepted, what is active prompt context, and what is merely a model inference. The governing principle here is quite profound. Basically, just because the model suggests something is relevant, that does not grant it authorization to automatically include it in your prompt.
So the big takeaway here is these core distinctions that preserve your control. The interface separates user intent from model inference. It separates your retrieved personal notes from canonical worldly knowledge. And it separates the messy transcript history from the actual refined state of your inquiry. Just imagine the potential here. Future versions are conceptualized to integrate directly with personal knowledge environments. Think tools like Obsidian, enabling incredibly durable knowledge formation.
Finally, Section 6, an open source invitation, building the future.
The author of this concept isn't just showing off a neat design. They're actually looking to build the future of AI interaction with you. This is a direct professional appeal to our community. The creator is actively seeking experts in human-computer interaction, AI interfaces, semantic systems, and knowledge management. The goal? To take this early interaction prototype and build it out into a model-independent, open-source tool. It's an open invitation to help move the entire industry beyond linear prompting. Which leaves us with a really provocative question directly from the source material to end on. What would make this genuinely useful, and what could go wrong? I'd love for you to put your architect and designer hats on for a second. We want to hear your architectural critiques, your concerns, and your wildest feature ideas. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get a real discussion going on how we interact with AI. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and as always, keep exploring.